Let's start. It's the Endless Honeymoon Podcast. It's Moshe Kasher
and his wives, Natasha Leggero and
Amy Miller.
I'm honored.
Do you consider yourself one of my wives?
Today I do.
That's so beautiful.
Because you locked the doors.
That's
and
right.
I feel afraid.
And you're in my basement.
So
it's
whatever you guys
perfect.
need is good with me.
Here's some trivia about Amy Miller, very funny comedian. Just a real killer, I would say.
Oh, thank you, Moshe.
Here's
You
some
really
trivia,
are.
though. We went to community college
We
together.
sure did
Yep.
go
What
to
was
community college together.
Wait, what was Moshe like?
Okay, well, this is the most Moshe thing, which I'm like, there was a dude you were inseparable from.
Is that right?
Every time I saw you with this man. We had a classics
I thought
course
you had
together.
no friends there.
This is community college. I
Yeah.
had many friends at community college, none at actual college.
Vista Community College.
Those were more your people.
They were my people, salt of the earth.
To clarify, I did go to regular Berkeley, but I took a semester at Vista for poverty reasons,
Oh, you
which is noble.
You uncaled and went to Vista just to
I
get
did
some,
like one semester off of
I
cheap
see.
credits.
I thought you were like me, a real poor person who had to do the full
No,
two.
I am. Yeah, I'm the only person in my family that ever went to college.
Is that right?
So that's what I figured out that semester. I was working so much, I was like, maybe Vista's a better.
Did your mom cry when you graduated?
No, she still doesn't understand why I did it, but she couldn't be more right than ever because I'm
I
a
know.
comedian.
Do you ever think that in some abstract way, the things you learned in college made you the comedian you are, or not
Oh,
at
sure.
all?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, well, I was a sociology major,
And isn't this just
And I
the
was
study of people?
isn't it?
What
Isn't
we
it
do?
groups of people,
Yes,
drunk groups of
drunks.
I was a theater criticism major, but I critique people.
Yeah, you sure do.
So we-
and you're theatrical.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
we use
Quite.
them. But Moshe was a religion
I was
major?
a religious studies major, and
I did focus on religion.
Did you?
In my sociology major at Berkeley.
My breakout bit was it was a bit about hell. That's how my whole career started on a bit
Truth.
about hell. So what
So
can
kids, if you're listening,
you go to college?
really, you really should. You should really spend $400,000 of your family's money to go to college.
It's more
What
worth it.
family's money?
I think we can agree that it's
Was
more
mine.
worth it than ever to go to college.
Well, I will say I got all my loans forgiven by Papa Joe Biden.
You
Thank
did?
so much.
Papa Joe did
Yes,
that?
because they did an across-the-board forgiveness if you've been paying for more than 20 years.
Shit.
Which
Wait,
is so
that
sad.
means they got rid of it?
It's deleted.
I thought
my
they stopped
record.
them.
That is annoying. My
Why?
first job, I gave like $15,000.
There we go.
No, this is
One of these.
this is classic. I suffered, so you should suffer
Why
too.
did I have to pay?
No, I just wish that I had that money, I guess.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But I also didn't have that. I've just been paying interest for 2 decades. Like,
It's
it's not
infuriating.
a good idea. But did I get some paydays and I could have wiped the slate clean? Of course.
Yeah, why?
But I had other stuff to buy, Natasha.
No, I used to pay, when I first moved here, I paid like $75 on a $150 Victoria's Secret outfit that I bought for
Well,
some
yeah.
guy. And I kept paying this interest for like 8 years until finally I was like, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
I just kept paying the minimum and I'm like, I must have given them like $900.
I can't believe the Victoria's Secret credit card was a little bit pernicious in its business practices.
They made it pink, so we love it.
No, but it was so fun when you'd go to the mall. They'd be like, "Oh, would you like to apply for a credit
Yeah.
card? You could have $200."
Anything.
Yeah, and you're like, "Oh, free clothes."
You know, they prey on actually college students because they know their R word and that they won't pay it off. They get
was me.
people. Yeah, that was you. You were famously R word back at
I
Vista
was
Community
just
College.
poor, and they used to they could market on campus, and in the late '90s, and so the Berkeley campus, like all Sprout Plaza, was like
Yeah.
just like Discover, Visa, like
Okay, I have a
Diners
question.
Club.
So Moshe was always with this inseparable dude.
Oh,
yeah.
whoever this is.
I
but
truly
what
don't
was
know who it
Doesn't
is.
remember.
what
this
was his general vibe? Like, were you like, oh, raver,
Okay,
druggy,
so
Hot stuff.
I will say
hot?
Papa hot stuff.
of every class I took in my 4.5 years of college, it was probably the most boring, and Moshe had the most questions and the most the most interest.
Wait, really?
It was a classics class,
and he was always raising his
That
hand.
and
sounds
that
like I was
dude-
annoying.
Oh, you know who that sounds like?
his best friend. So
Our
many,
daughter.
Oh, a lot of questions.
Oh.
Because she's like, yeah, kids are telling. Well, because
A kindergartner told her to. She's a first grader, and a kindergartner told her to shut up the other day. And I
wait,
go,
and tell her what you said to say to her. Because I was like, I think we need to bring this to a therapist. Because I don't think this is what you're supposed
Okay.
to say.
And I'm
we
a therapist.
We'll think we bring it to you. Well, I said to her, I go, you don't let kindergartners tell you to shut up. Like,
No.
you don't need to let little kids. And I go, so this is what I told her. I go, tell me, shut up.
Shut up.
And I said, you can say, oh, you might not know this because you're just a little baby, but kindergartners aren't allowed to tell first graders to shut up.
This is
Yes.
not good advice. You're just a baby. That's like name calling.
That's how I respond to adult men who tell me to shut up.
Yeah,
I don't know if you're aware of this.
because you're
but
just a little baby.
you're a little baby.
Now that I like.
Now, what?
You'd all
Do
be
you-
dead without us.
Do you think that's
so-
inappropriate advice? Because I'm like, she's a girl. She should
No.
learn to stand up for herself.
I mean, I think it's appropriate to say no one can tell you to shut up.
Yeah.
But calling them
Except
a
mommy
baby.
and daddy.
But in particular, somebody that is smaller and younger than you trying to
Yeah.
alpha you like that, you don't need to take that.
She poopies in her panties.
Yes.
So she's not really legally allowed to tell you to
That's
shut
what
up.
I'm saying.
A
So you're-
grown ass bitch.
I'm a grown. I told her to say all those things.
Are you Team Moshe? You think it's okay to tell a kindergartner you're just a baby?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Totally.
But then what happens
This whole
when-
life's all about power.
Oh, by the way-
where can we grab it?
Well,
When
you
can
have
we
a
grab
literal
it?
baby, don't you? You have a baby.
Oh,
Your
no.
your boyfriend is a baby, right? He's just a little baby,
He's a full grown man.
but he's a lot.
He's a man.
But you're like you dom him,
He's 33 years old.
and you're not. You're older.
Yes.
She's
I'm
5 years older
43.
than me, and she kind of doms me in
Yeah.
that way.
It's
Age
not
dom.
bad.
No.
It's not a bad gap. I didn't
Do you
know he
ever-
was 33. That was just, I wasn't even really open to that, but that was my lowest on my Tinder hookup age range. And he got in under the wire.
And do you ever feel like in any way like a predator?
No.
Because
To
that's
a
the scuttle.
6'5"
Yeah.
white straight man.
Yeah, the scuttlebutt
No.
around the comedy community is that you are an age gap predator. That's sort of what we say behind your back. You're funny. We do say you're funny first, but then you're a predator.
But and what a good job I've done raising these young men into nice adults.
That's right. that's
Nobody
right.
talks about that part.
I have a question for both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is a question I was going to ask you last week, and then we ran out of time? Do you think a couple where the boy or the girl is allowed to see a sex worker
Mm-hmm.
is in an open relationship?
No, I don't.
You don't.
No.
Are they in a monogamous relationship?
No, it's not monogamous. We don't have a word for that yet.
It's something new. The French probably do.
What is monogamish? That's
Okay.
Dan Savage. We're not stealing that. Dan.
Dan, don't come for us.
Monogamish, I think, is more used with gay couples, but no, I think that's a form of therapy. It can be if needed. Why do you guys ask?
Well,
Well, it's actually Moshe
Tasha's been seeing
asking.
hookers.
no, because
Moshe's trying to get into the threesome in many different
no,
ways.
it's not about me.
No.
It's not about me. This came up.
I'm not available.
Oh, well, we can wrap. We can wrap this up. You have a set to do anyway.
Yeah.
So I think we can probably
In
wrap
2
this
hours,
up.
yeah.
How are your feelings around monogamy?
They're always changing. I'm happy to be monogamous if that's what somebody wants. My current boyfriend, because he is younger, and I'm just getting tired. I would love for him to spread his dick around a little bit more.
You want that?
Yeah, but he doesn't want to do it.
And why do you want that?
Because my pussy hurts.
Oh, because he's horny all the time.
He's horny all the time. He's a younger man. He has a huge dick. Which I talk about on stage.
This sounds so hard for you.
I know.
Yeah, I know this sucks.
He worships me. His dick's huge. He loves me.
So he's like a hard-bodied young man with a huge dick that worships you.
Yeah.
That sucks.
I know. This
That's-
is why I can't complain to my friends.
Right. Your single friends.
Oh yeah, especially my single friends. There's a lot of like how'd you get him, amongst our more angry women single friends in comedy. And I'm like, I guess my personality doesn't suck. Insert name of person I won't say.
I saw a great video today. It was these two Christian, cute Christian girls going, it's so frustrating when we're pure in the Lord and we're working hard with. This is my algorithm, by the way. It's exclusively this content, and we're strong Christian girls, and these other girls who are not as strong in the Lord are getting asked out right and left by these Christian men, and it's the most frustrating thing. And I was like, you're probably kind of boring. I think that's probably the thing.
Wait, so Amy, if
or
he
you're looking too hard or something.
If he did it, would you then want to do it, or you just want him to do it?
I don't have any interest in doing it right now, and that's the thing. I'm like, who?
You don't want to find an old small-dicked man just to change up the flavor.
Exactly. I know. Yeah, I'm very happy, and I'm like, I think it's. I'll just ask some other men who are in relationships because I feel like I'm doing a good job. I feel like 2 to 3 times a week is a solid.
That's good.
That's
Average
a solid amount
for a fucking touring comedian.
But he wants
Who's
every
tired?
day.
Why are you throwing comedy in there?
Because it's socially exhausting.
Yeah.
And people take from you and they suck all your energy away.
See, I
you have
have
nothing left for your partner when you get home.
I know. Sometimes I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why am I so tired? And I'm like, wait, I've been up since 6:30.
Yeah, and we've been alive for decades.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just
sucks.
like, it's
How old
hard.
do you want to be when you die?
Maybe 68.
That's so young.
That is way too
I've
young,
done
Amy.
so much already.
Yeah, but there's so much more to do.
That's like in 20.
Well,
How
because
old are you?
I'm not going to have a retirement. I mean,
Right.
how long are they going to let me do stand-up into my 70s?
Yeah, why
No.
not?
Social Security.
Hang in there, girl.
There's so much.
I have a splash. But
Death is forever.
I know.
You'll always be dead.
It sounds nice.
You like that idea?
Well, I don't want to die, but I do feel like I've never gotten a good solid sleep. So it just sounds relaxing. Either that or just like a full like heroin phase. I just want to like
What about-
nod off for a couple days.
What about heroin at 70?
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, that's a great time to do it.
Yeah.
What's gonna fall apart? Your life that's ending.
And I will. It'll be heroin and martinis every night.
I want to get a tan when I'm 70.
You wanna start going to
I always stay out of the sun, but I'm like, once I'm old, really old,
Yeah.
I could just let it get
Ooh.
really
I don't.
dark.
I'll start
I love the
smoking.
sun.
I'll start
Oh,
smoking.
you do the sun now?
I go in. I've always gone in.
What do you go in? You like have a foil thing on
Well, I'm.
No, she just doesn't like dress like how I dress when we go to
Right,
Greece.
right,
Like
It's Reynolds
Moshe's
wrap.
like
It's just foil from
she's like
home.
a chicken. She's just like basting
No,
herself.
it's just your perfect man holding it underneath you.
I'm a real kind of shut in, and I feel like it's like smoking cigarettes a couple times a year. You know what I mean? Like people do that. We have friends who do hard drugs a few times a year, whatever. I'm like, I can go in the sun 6 times a year and really soak it up.
Oh, that's a good
Because I
amount.
love being inside. That's my ideal state.
Well, your
What do
skin looks great.
Thank you.
What do you do inside?
See?
You play video games?
Well, sometimes I guess.
You like
it's not like my main thing.
You stream and just try to rebuff your boyfriend's big dick advances?
Yeah. There's a lot of kissing.
You guys kiss a lot?
We kiss so much.
Really?
I love it.
Sounds like you're really in love.
I'm so in love.
And by the way, if
No,
anyone's
I'm
listening,
obsessed with him as well. I just haven't hurt pussy.
if anyone's listening, a surefire way to get your boyfriend to be even more into you is to tell him maybe he should go start fucking some other people.
Right.
It is like such a good hack.
I have no jealousy and I'm tired. And he deserves to be as happy as he wants. He's such a kind man. He takes really good care of me in so many ways.
This is great.
But I'm just like, okay, what also changed is that, like in your 40s, I'm like, and I've told them this, I go, I'm never having sex when I don't want to ever again. Because by the time you're in your 40s as a woman, you've done that so many times. And plenty of men too. But from the whole gamut of like full assault to just like, I'll just do it because this little bitch is going to complain or whatever, like male ego stuff. Like there's so many reasons. And I'm just never doing that again.
I love that.
But he can't say, I wish you would.
Right. Well, also,
Then-
but honestly, the excuse "my pussy hurts" is so like ego supporting.
Yes.
That I feel like it's a very easy letdown. It's like, oh, I can't anymore because you're just too much of a man.
Yes.
That's got to feel kind of okay for him.
Truly. Huge dick. And he lasts so long. I'm like,
How long we talking?
oh my. I mean, he could go for hours.
What's up with this guy?
If I allowed it.
Where
Hours?
did you find this man?
In Omaha, Nebraska.
That's how. Okay,
Wait,
that
does
makes
he
sense.
live here?
Yeah. We live together in LA.
Did you find him on the road?
Yes.
He's a fan.
No. Which is perfect. Stranger who doesn't. Oh, you'll love this. Thankfully didn't care about comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Aware, not a fan.
Got it.
And I was like, who have you seen? It's Omaha. He's like, I mean, there's not that much to do, He's like, oh, I've seen Kyle Kinane. Whitney, Tom Papa. I go, that's great. It's a good start.
Yeah.
And I love Natasha Leggero.
Whoa.
I know. But
Wait, you're
ultimately,
saying I could have gotten this big dick
I need your help.
rock hard?
Too late.
Oh wait, you want him to fuck other people?
That's right.
Moshe wants to hire
all I want is a
sex worker.
Yeah, all I want is an occasional stilettoed,
Man.
bunny
And
ranch.
you
Yeah, man,
say-
stilettoed man.
And you say no.
No, it's not even.
It's not even that I say no. It's just that I don't know anyone who has kids who has that situation.
Not
So-
out in the open, but people do it in secret. That's always my thing. Is like nobody's inventing anything. It's just if you want, you can do it out loud, and not in a shady way.
Well, by the way, you know that young people, like real young people, I'm talking 20s.
Yeah.
They're confused by monogamy now. They're like, they think it's like not
It's
all of
weird.
them obviously,
It
but they're
is.
like their default. They're all non-binary polyamorous.
Yes.
Like everyone's like, you do gender and monogamy. Like, what are you, a witch? Like they don't
Yeah.
even understand it.
I know. I'm shocked by sometimes my 33-year-old boyfriend being very traditional in that way.
He's from Nebraska.
Well, yeah, there are reasons, but it's not for me to talk about his parents on this podcast. That's not about him.
What's your least favorite thing about them? No, I'm joking.
One of my problems with the whole situation is that I've told Moshe this, like if he is capable of just like having sex with anyone and it just being physical, and maybe you would be capable. I just feel like I would just get a crush on someone and then want to marry them instead.
That would be bad. That would.
I know. Look what happened last time.
I'll tell you, it would fuck the podcast up for sure.
Yeah.
It would.
So I just feel like I don't know that I could get it up for like a random person because my time is valuable, and I don't know. I think I'd rather like watch porn than like have some other man in my life and I don't know,
and
get
this is
dressed
why-
up for him.
Yes.
Well, that's the big thing. It's really another man in your room. Like I can't imagine like hooking up on the road again. When I met my boyfriend, it was like the only time I've fucked a stranger from Tinder. And I guess
Cool.
that
Is that
happened. I
right?
did
And then
fall
you
in
fell in love?
Yeah.
It was
See?
the one time that you really hoed out, and it was,
Yes.
and it turned into a loving
That's
long-term
what
relationship.
I'm saying. Sometimes I think
That's
we're wired
beautiful.
that way.
I mean, I had been slutty before, of course.
But not on that particular frequency.
with people I know.
That's so funny
yeah.
and awesome.
Because it's safer that way.
Yeah.
But he was a huge slut. I tried it once in Alaska, and I didn't end up having full sex with the man because I think he was closeted, and he showed up with a cock ring unannounced. So I was like, this is not going to happen, but you're very sweet, and goodbye.
what is the cock ring for? Because I saw that on a guy once and I didn't really know what to
Well,
do.
it's to help you keep hard and for longer for fun, or if you have issues with that. But it's something you announce generally.
Oh, really?
It's also
Especially to
not.
a stranger.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's not a first date bop it on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, show up with it on.
Yeah.
'Cause then I'm like, how long has that been on?
Right.
When we were eating
Ew.
pizza, you were just wearing this cock ring. Is it washed?
It reminds me of when we were kids, when I was a kid, and condom.
Roaming College Avenue.
Yeah, roaming College Avenue.
Different sides of the street.
And condom, but when I was young, elementary
Yeah.
school, like it was the AIDS epidemic, and condoms started to come into the cultural conversation, and all these guys, we didn't understand what they were, so all like the older kids were like, "Hey, I'm wearing one right now," and it's like, "No, you're not."
You got to put it on first thing in the morning.
Nobody knew, but it seemed cool to be
Yeah,
like, "I've got one on
ew.
now." It's like, no, I
My
don't think you do.
9-year-old penis.
It's just falling immediately to the floor.
Tied off with a rubber band.
Well, listen, Amy, you clearly are killing it on
life.
all fronts. You got a great comedy career. You have this hot man in your life who also seems like he's okay with you talking about him. That's kind of a
He
plus.
is, yeah. He's like a fairly open book. I mean, I wouldn't go too far with it. Like, yeah, again, I'm not gonna like discuss his family or whatever. But yeah, he's a sweetheart, and he is much hotter than me, and that's hard a lot of the time.
It's hard for me to imagine that's true.
You feel
Thank you.
like girls are looking at him kind of thing. Like, I don't have that
Girls and
issue.
guys.
Just kidding, honey.
Oh,
Men
just
and
kidding.
women. No, it's not something I think about all the time around the house. So thank God I have my good friends to bring it up to me all the time.
People say that to you?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, what's wrong with your friends?
Well, not good friends.
Yeah. Hey,
They're like, wow, your boyfriend's so hot.
Well, or they'll just say disgust. I do have women friends that'll say disgusting things. Like, I know I'm married and you're friends with my husband, but I just want to sit on your boyfriend's face. And I'm like, okay.
It sounds like you have the
You
right
can.
man, but the wrong friends, Amy. I think we figured something out. Hang out with us more.
Well, what I was going to say is because you're killing it, we do have some people who wanted some advice. I feel like you actually might have some good advice.
I hope so.
Okay, we are now going to call Stephanie in Valparaiso, Indiana.
Valparaiso.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's talk to Stephanie.
Hi.
Is that a chainsaw on your floor?
Yeah.
That is quite a background.
That looks like where Amy goes hunting for love. Alaska, Omaha, the chainsaw factory of Valparaiso, Indiana.
This is horrifying.
Is this? Yeah, what's going on back there?
I'm hiding in my husband's shop.
Okay.
Everyone at his workshop. So yeah, that is a chainsaw. There's an engine. There's
And
a
he's
motorcycle.
good. You trust him. There's no chance of murder at any point. A lot of equipment.
Yeah.
This is an advice podcast. You don't know what she's calling about. It might be that.
All right. Quick cue. Is this a warning sign? No.
Yeah, it is. It is disturbing looking for sure. It's like set directed for a
Better
horror movie.
organized. I feel like he buys a lot of screws he already has.
Mhm.
Just doesn't want to look for them.
He's organized. He's trying to organize his screws.
I love that
actually.
you have a little
Good.
place for him to put all his shit.
Yeah, it's a large place, and I would like to actually get all of this out of here and put all of my house storage stuff in here.
You could split it in
know.
half with him. You got to
Oh,
start
that would be so
negotiating.
funny if one half of it looked like that like saw set that you have back there, but the other half was like all pink and lace and like
she shed.
but it's like split directly down the
She
middle. There's like a
Yeah.
half of a flat screen TV playing Emily in Paris.
Okay, Stephanie, how can we help you?
Well, my friend I think she's being really immature, and she kind of like dropped a secret on me and was like, you can't tell anyone, don't tell your husband. She dropped the secret on me, and then it kind of left me feeling some type of way. And
So tell us.
Yeah,
That
go
seems
ahead
the
and
best.
jump on the video
Yeah.
podcast.
yeah, right. I know. I was like, anyways, but yeah, she's a early 40s lady. She's technically married. She's still living with her husband. They're still like cohabitating, but she's separated. But she revealed to me a couple days ago that she's dating my little brother.
What the hell?
Sexy.
Wait, and she is married?
She's married.
She's
like they're
separated.
separated.
This is like that Nicole Kidman show that's out right now.
Oh, perfect couple.
Oh, sorry, spoiler alert. Okay, so oh my God, this is really inappropriate and bound. I mean,
How old is your little brother?
8.
29.
8.
Right.
That's the
He's
crazy
got
part.
a condom on already.
he's 29.
It's crazy.
He's ready to go.
Now, you know what I would say with it? If someone just told me this story, I'd say
What?
that's some Rockford shit.
That's some Valparaiso shit if I've ever heard it.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
but in truth, it boundaries. Like the boundaries are what we need to talk about, I think.
Well, what do
Yeah.
you want to talk about? What is your dilemma here?
And what did you say? And have you talked to him?
I did talk to him. My dilemma is there any way that I can just air my, like, listen, this is my little brother. He's 29. That should be an adult. He's still living with my parents. He still like stays up all night and plays video games. She's like a grown woman. Her son is more similar to my brother than my brother is to her. At least she's like kind of a grande woman, and he's like a very petite little boy.
Is this me?
Your boyfriend's not petite little
not
boy. How close are you with the friend?
You know, we've been friends for about 4 years. She calls me her best friend. And I feel like she does have a very small social circle. She's like a kind of a
A lot
kind
of space. She's so grande. You know, where are they going to stand?
right. You only get, right.
She considers you like family, actually, in many ways.
Yeah.
Does she know you talk
Right.
about her like this?
Well, she definitely doesn't know that she talks about her deepest secret on a podcast. That's for sure.
But I want to know, what is her plan?
Her plan is she's going to buy a house with my brother.
What is
And
the
they are
issue?
going
Why are
to
you
get
so
more-
shocked?
Because she's married.
She's
She's
separated.
separated.
Well,
She's going to buy a house for your brother, babe.
Yes.
I'm not sure
But she needs to borrow
She's-
money from my parents. Like that was part of the conversation too, is like, I've written up this loan proposal that I'm going to present to your parents.
Wait a second. I'm confused. She's
Okay.
fucking your little brother. You're her best friend, and your parents are the bank?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Does she also hang out at your parents' house? Does she hang out there?
How do you think they met?
They met at work because my friend is the HR person for my mom,
Well,
for my stepmom.
she seems like she's nailing it from an HR perspective. That's
I
for
know.
sure.
Yeah. Keep it
I
close.
know.
Does she
Well,
ever?
that's-
Do you think she ever takes photos of you and cuts out the eyes and the mouth and then tape them over her own face and then walk around in the mirror saying, "I am Stephanie"?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't.
Are you worried she's going to come to the holidays and rail your mom's green bean casserole to death
And rail
and
your
not leave any for anybody else?
and then rail your little brother right afterwards.
His green bean casserole.
I mean, what I think would be appropriate is if I was really falling for my friend's brother and I was going through a separation because she's clearly doing some weird rebound thing. I think I would talk to you first.
Sounds like she did though.
No, talk to you and not like she came to her and said, "I need to get a house to live with your brother. We've been carrying on this thing." I mean, it just definitely feels like a violation, and I guess I can't quite articulate why.
How'd you find out about it initially? She did come to you and tell you? Or your brother told
she
you?
texted me. No, she texted me last week and said, "Let's go for a walk this weekend. I got to tell you a secret." And I didn't ask any questions
A
because I
walk
assumed
in Indiana. Let's stop right there.
It's a world's first.
No.
She's like, "Bring the chainsaw." So then she said it's a secret.
It's a secret, and I didn't ask any further questions because so she told me on Sunday, just a couple days ago, we went for a walk and she got she's like, do you know what I'm going to tell you? And I was like, I'm assuming you're getting ready to move out and you need to do it kind of quickly because you and your husband and
So you had
she's
no
like,
idea.
yeah, she's like, yes, and it's with someone. I found someone, and I was like, and she's like, it's your brother. And at first I was like, gross, and then I was
First of all, yucky.
but then I was like, okay, well, my brother should be an adult.
No, he's that generation that they messed up, and we're trying to fix it with the next generation. But you know,
he's a floater.
He's living at home. He's probably got the internet too early, and his brain is like not quite developed.
He's like not a millennial, but not Gen Z.
Oh, he's a gap like us.
Yeah.
Are you? Oh, no,
you
you're
guys are
you're a
gap.
millennial. You're a millennial.
Like oldest millennial.
Older,
yeah.
and I feel gap. I feel like I
We're both
I straddle.
on the cusp
We're
from
cusp.
our behavior.
We-
Arrested
Right,
development.
That's right.
But I mean, this kid is like, he's living at home. I mean, your friend is like a professional person. She works in like a corporate job. She is now going to find out for herself. She is going to find out for herself that your brother sits around and, scratches his dick and plays video games all day. And it's not going to last. And I just feel like it's a great time for you to just try to remove yourself from the situation and just say, I need a little, I think what I would do is just say, I just need a little space. I just feel, you don't even have to put a name to it. You can just say, I just need to process this, give me a couple months. You guys do your thing, but I don't want to be involved.
Amy, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's good advice because you can't talk people out of stuff like
Yeah.
100%.
And it says, like, the more you say, like, stay away, it's like she's going to go, oh, well, now I want to buy him an Xbox.
I would take it. I would take.
There is nothing more depressing than your boyfriend, coming home and he's just like still playing video games in the main room of the house. Like that's why I never let a TV in our living room because I just.
You thought you would picture me playing video games?
Yeah, I can't.
I not this exact thing, but what going through a similar thing with my sister where I feel bad sometimes for recently divorced women, especially who are in a long-term marriage, because it's very hard to transition into just like fucking around and being a slut. Like they immediately bring the long-term energy, which is like, I will take care of you. Let's get a loan. Let's buy a house.
Oh my
when they should just
God.
be like, sucking dick for a while. Or
Right.
my sister, especially. No.
Wait, that is so
What about
wise.
her brother and my sister?
That's a
Here's
great idea.
something.
Yeah, that's actually a nice little meet cute.
No, but I really feel like I would.
It's hard.
That's exactly why I didn't want to open up my marriage, because I have that long term energy. It's like,
Yeah.
how do you
You're
get
Midwestern.
Yeah,
But it's
basic
also-
to the core.
But it's also like what you're saying is right. Like once you're in your 40s, you're a grown up in your mind,
Yeah.
and it's very difficult to time travel with one part of your psyche. Like,
Right.
oh, my sex drive will become like my 20s again, but the rest of me is sort of moving forward in my adult life.
Yeah,
So
and you haven't dated probably
Right.
in a very long time. I'm not saying she should have gone right for your brother, but it's very funny.
or she should have fucked your brother and not wanted to get alone
Yeah.
from your parents. It's just like, it's just the boundaries. It's inappropriate.
I just
Can she say any?
I don't quite agree that this
Oh,
is
interesting.
inappropriate.
Okay.
I'm on your side.
Yeah,
with
it's
it,
just like what does this have to do with you? Really, it's like it's your brother and your parents' decision on what they want to do. Like, who cares?
Well, they've been sneaking. Her friend has
cares?
been lying to her and probably
the part that I find inappropriate is that she burdened you with a secret, which your first mistake was
Yeah.
agreeing to keep the secret. Like I would have said, sorry, I'm not going to keep a secret.
I'm going to tell everybody
I'll tell-
on a podcast.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to tell your parents and stuff. Yeah.
Well, the parents are going to find out because they need money.
And they're huge Endless Honeymoon podcast heads. Like, but I just think like this isn't. She doesn't have the right to burden you with this as a secret, but you don't really have the right to get involved. Like it really, if you really think about it, doesn't have anything to do with you. Yes, it's your parents and your brother, but it's not really your business to get in there and be like, Mom, Dad, don't do this. Brother, hey, you should find somebody younger. Like none of it really has to do with you. Like maybe it's possible that Natasha's right. Actually, I'll say it's probable that Natasha's right that this whole thing is going to blow up and crash and burn.
oh, it's not going to be good.
But it might be.
But people have to live those experiences. And if you
Yeah.
got married young and you're Midwestern and you were just married, and now you're trying to go back to fuck around, yeah, that's who you find. You find your friend's brother, but, you love your brother, right?
Yeah.
And she's
Yeah,
not
I
a
do.
bad person. She's just Grande and like he's teeny weeny. I didn't say it first. I don't think she knew there was going to be a Grande guest on the pod today.
I also think it's funny that somehow that's involved in the problem here. It's like, and the other thing, the size differential between their bodies, it's too much to deal with. It's like, what?
I can't move on from it.
It sounds like a compliment to me. I kind of like it.
Grande.
But maybe if your husband does some more organizing, there's a good space in the garage for them to live
Yes.
together for a while they save money.
Wait, Moshe, I have a question. So if you found out that your friend,
My friend.
was having, let's say Brent was having sex with your brother for like 6
This
months.
is already gross.
And
I'm disgusted.
and
This
they've
is
been
hard for me to wrap my mind
they've
around.
been
But
Wearing the gloves and mask.
yeah.
they've been carrying on. They're in love. I mean, your brother's not gay, but let's just say this is
Sure.
a world where this is the situation.
Okay, let me ask you a few.
What? No,
follow-up-
would you?
Well, I need some clarification.
Okay.
Am I learning at the same time that they're having an affair that my brother is gay? Is that a revelation as well?
No,
Okay, he's long been gay.
Yes.
But now he's fucking Brent
And you
Weinbach.
found out when Brent was coming over, he would say he was leaving, but really he went into your brother's bedroom and
Yeah.
they would hang out while
Your
he.
parents are alive, and Brent asked them for money for a long.
I mean, there's
Can you imagine?
Well, the one place I would step in, and I want to amend my advice, Stephanie, is if this financial plan seems like it could negatively affect your parents,
Yeah.
then I think, it is your business to get in and say, I don't think you should give them the loan, because sometimes as people get older, they get hoodwinked by people. If that feels concerning, step in there. But in terms of a love relationship, I don't think it would be any of my business. Would I be uncomfortable personally? Of course. I would be like I would be like, this is so weird.
but
You're
it's
my
not
best.
wrong, or it's not a violation.
It's not my business.
And couldn't there also be an aspect that's fun
Yes.
about that? Like, no, my best friend is
my-
at Christmas.
Yeah, and my brother
my
found
brother.
love with my dear friend.
Yeah.
Like, it's much like that. I'm right now watching the Harry Potter films with my child because we've never heard of them before, but due to the author's activism, I heard about her and became
She's
a huge
great.
fan. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's just awesome. Anyway, in that, Harry Potter falls in love with the youngest Weasley child,
Mm-hmm.
and Ron is okay with it. Because he's like, you know what, this guy's already like family, so come on in here and fuck my sister. Maybe maybe you could have that vibe, you know? Like, come on in here, fuck my brother.
Yeah.
Now you're going to be my Grande sister-in-law.
Do you like this girl? Does she?
Indiana Grande.
How Grande is
Beautiful
Indiana
voice.
Grande?
I know you don't have tons of choices because I've never even heard of your city, so I can't imagine that there's like so many. But do you like this girl as a friend? Like, would not talking to her for a month or so like be okay?
Yeah, both. Yes to both. I like her. I think she's a good person. I think she is very up and coming. I could see her being good for my brother. Get him out of the house. Get him like dreaming and
That's good.
and aspiring. I don't think it's a smart choice for her to just jump into get on that long-term vibe.
But she
Right.
will tell your brother that. So like anything you tell her now is just imagine your brother's going to hear that. So so that's another reason why the boundary, like she's a friend who you might want to vent about, but now anything you tell her, she's going to tell your brother. But let's just, I mean, not ever, but it's a possibility.
Yeah.
So that's something to keep in mind. And I do you think it's okay for her to just say like, I would just like to maybe take a couple weeks off?
Do you want 2 weeks off? I mean, I'm not...
A month.
Am I getting
2
that from
months.
you? Like, how are you feeling?
You know what I really wanted to, I guess I wanted to know that I could or couldn't, or that it would be possible or not, to just like sit down and be like, I don't objectively, I think this is, you should probably take a year, like a gap year between being married for 20 years and getting married again.
But Amy said, and it's true, you can't stop people from doing what they want to
It
do.
is
They're already
yeah.
dreaming of their home together.
Yeah, it is always fine to say it, but also you have to have empathy for her because, and again, this is very similar to my sister right now, married for over 20 years, had never dated, really been with another man, and so she jumped into something fast. We're not in support of it, but all you can say is say that now, and then later when they break up, people tend to come around and go, oh, you were fucking right about that. And it's like, yeah, no shit. But
so you did say something to your sister, even though
yes, but there's nothing we can really do. And he's not like a wildly terrible man. It's just also people come out of that, especially with men, and try to find the opposite of their husband.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing her husband maybe is also Grande, maybe is
Had his
older.
shit together.
Yeah. Sucks at video games.
Well, you know, I think that Amy's onto something. Like maybe there's something you get personally from just speaking your truth.
Yes.
And
I
her
just
truth
think
is that because then she's just going to be
It's like
kind
you
of
want to go
cowering.
on record.
It's
Yeah.
always good to really study your own motivations, though, because I think with female friends, we're often like actually trying to control a little bit.
Of course.
Or just like, well, I mean, yeah, you also don't want her to fuck your brother, but why not? It's just, you have to look at yourself and go, what am I really opposed to? The money stuff with the parents is fucked. Like that, yeah, especially if it's going to affect them negatively. But ultimately, it's like, I don't know, is it that bad? Because she could be with some fucking random abusive man or some total piece of shit. At least it's your brother, you know.
Right.
You know it's a good person. You care about them both. You can't talk her out of it. But it's really, I've caught myself in moments of being like, well, I want to talk to her about it because I think she should know. And then I'm like, oh no, I'm just trying to control the situation or have jealousy about something or whatever
Or
it
just
is.
want to express. Sometimes I just want to express my judgment, and even though I know, like,
So
it will
much.
have no effect. And you're so right.
That's
like,
my favorite.
Express your judgment.
yeah. No, I mean, I want to like go on record as
our
like
new
I'm not into
podcast.
this. Yeah, but it's like, you know, in the history of relationships, has a friend ever come to their friend and said, what do you think? Is this a good idea? And then the friend goes, it's not a good idea. And then the first friend goes, great, I'll break up with that person. It's never happened.
It's never happened.
Not once. They won't take that advice.
I will say, though, it's probably worked with 10 friends with pure motivations where eventually you go like, oh, okay, maybe this is really bad. Because everyone who cares about me is saying this is a
Right.
bad idea.
If you gang up.
Oh, you're saying if enough people.
I'm not even convinced.
Yeah.
I'm not even convinced of that, honestly. When a person's in the throes of early love, they are mentally ill.
Truly.
And they will do whatever they want, and they come to you for advice knowing that they're not going to take it. I don't know why we do that part,
I
actually.
know.
Why don't you just
Unfortunately, she's digmatized
Yeah,
by
she
your
is.
teeny brother.
teeny little dicked brother?
I have a friend in Chicago who got married and is getting a divorce now, and 2 different therapists told her, do not marry that person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They still did.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
yeah.
it's like you can't. You can't stop it.
So here's the summation of our advice so far. You should be honest about how you're feeling. I think. Tell me if I'm speaking.
Examine and then be honest.
I love that. Yes. Why do you want to say it? Say what's true for you.
And know that your brother's going to hear every single thing you said.
Yeah. And
don't call him like a lazy piece of shit or anything.
But also know how much of this is or is not actually your business, and protect your parents' finances.
Yes. Yeah.
I think we've done it.
I think we killed that shit.
We nailed it.
And a talk is totally in order, as much or as little as you want. And also, if you want to take a little break, it's okay too.
And it is also totally fine to just say, I feel weird about this situation.
Yes. I don't know why I shouldn't.
My brother, but wouldn't you feel weird? Because most people would feel some type of way, and that's very valid.
And if she can't understand what Amy's saying, there, you just say, imagine this was Moshe Kasher and Brent Weinbach, and Brent was fucking Moshe's rabbi brother who had been gay for many years. Now does it feel weird?
Milking his deaf parents for cash for a home in this economy.
Well, Stephanie, hopefully we've given you some things to think about, and you can maybe re-listen to this and try to use some of them. And, she's going to find out for herself.
And DM me a picture of them together. Thanks.
Yeah, that would be great.
I gotta see Grande and Tiny.
It's a very mother-son looking vibe.
Okay,
that's most straight relationships, babe. That doesn't matter. You could be with an older man and you're still raising him.
I get what she's saying though. The Grande Pequeño thing isn't so much a judgment of bodies, but rather it's a physical manifestation of the dynamic that is concerning her. I get that. I can kind of get down with that.
Also sounds hot.
It does sound. Sorry. I mean, the heart wants what the heart wants, and it sounds like your brother's heart wants pie.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, very wise. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Good luck out there.
Bye, Stephanie.
Good luck with the she shed.
I wonder. I didn't want to keep her on the phone. No, she was good.
I don't think she hated us. Yeah, I think she was gonna do whatever she's gonna do, no matter what.
That's the other thing.
But I wonder what her brother said when she talked to him about it.
Oh.
Forgot to ask.
He was like, "Get out of my room."
Wait, did she say she talked to him about it?
She did,
cool.
but
I want to know.
Well,
should we call her back?
No, that was too long.
All right. Well, I am curious what he was. I mean, the truth is, you're right. Not only does the person asking for advice never take it, but also the advice giver is just giving it in order to hear themselves give it. So that's the premise of our podcast, anyway.
All right. Well, should we listen to some secrets?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Ooh. Want to hear some secrets, Amy?
So much.
Yeah.
I am a 30-ish-year-old woman, and I have a son, and I pick my nose, and I eat it.
Ugh.
And I now have noticed that my son is starting to take his nose and eat it. So now I'm just wondering, as I get older, do I have to stop? I mean, obviously I should stop, but how do I feel so guilty telling him to stop because I know it's a learned behavior.
It's okay.
He's learning it from me. Okay, thanks. Well, that's my secret.
It's okay.
Just hitting home.
No, I just find it so disgusting.
It's okay, honey.
Because it was really the fuck it for me. You know what? Fuck it. I'm eating my boogies.
No, it was no. You know what? Fuck it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I know.
It was she's like.
She had to get it out somehow. Fuck it.
I think. Is she? I wonder if she's doing it in front of him.
She must be, because how could he learn it?
Yeah, don't do that part.
Well, I just think sometimes you have to grow up. And you have to stop humping pillows and eating your boogers and stealing.
Wait, hold on. Let's roll that back.
There comes a time where you're like, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore.
I brought an empty backpack to your home. Okay?
Wait, why is it? It's empty? Is it for fashion?
Just so I can take
She wants to take some stuff.
Oh, you're going to thieve.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. After all these years that we've known each other, you're going to just rob my house? Immature. Yeah, that's an interesting point. Just grow up.
Yeah. And people have such interesting ways of dealing with being alive for a long time. It must be comforting to her. It's disgusting. People do plenty of disgusting things in secret.
It's also unsanitary.
It makes me want to throw up. Yeah, sure. But can't you just not do it in front of your child? It sounds like she's conflicted about telling him not to do it, even if she's not doing it in front of him.
They're doing it while they
Right.
watch TV, probably.
You think, oh, instead of popcorn.
Yeah, well, they're just like,
Let's go.
she's doing it without thinking.
Picture it, though,
And
Natasha. Picture it in your mouth.
I'm assuming.
Why, Amy? Why? Why are you doing this to my
No,
wife?
my kid did it once, and I
Her reaction was not
cool.
not gentle parenting. It was like,
Kids
never
do it
do
a
that.
lot.
That's fucking disgusting. She didn't
Yeah.
say fucking.
I was
But
like, that's disgusting. Don't ever do that. You won't have friends.
Well,
Sometimes-
that's the surefire way to get your kid to do it in secret in their room
yeah.
when you're not looking. Because if it's so naughty that mom reacted that way, then maybe I need to do it extra. And that's what happened to
Maybe.
this woman.
I don't know. I think the
Oh
addendum.
no!
I
You
think-
think her mom was like, "Don't you ever do that."
I do.
I think the addendum of you'll never have friends could have shamed our child enough to get her to stop. You don't buy it?
Well, I don't know. With your child, maybe she's social. But if
You
you,
know-
said that to a kid who didn't want friends, they'd be like, tight.
You know what?
I'm going to eat them extra.
We should set up a ring camera in her room, like a hidden one, so to see. And then
Yeah.
if you see it on the ring camera, then you run in screaming and saying, "I told you never to do that. You'll never have friends."
But it's such a specific thing, but kids are disgusting in so many ways.
That is very true.
I mean, kids also put their fingers in their buttholes and then put it in their mouth. They don't think about it. Like, they're nasty.
I shit in my hand when I was a kid.
Oh,
Moshe, you did?
Yeah, it was like
On a regular basis?
No, just at once to feel what it was like.
Oh, yeah.
And it
All
feels,
those questions he asked in community college. So curious.
ma'am,
About the Romans.
who also shit in their hands, just to see what it would feel like. But that was at a party.
We've all tried stuff like that as kids.
You got one?
Don't make her say
All
something
right.
I mean, my
disgusting. She's got
sisters
this
and I would, like,
hot boyfriend.
Pee in cups and then, like, dare each other to taste it.
Sure. What's the
I've
grossest thing you
definitely
ever did?
Abandoned children. There's not
I
much
know.
to do.
I've peed in cups recently for sure.
No, but she was talking about drinking it.
Oh,
Did
you
you
took-
taste
drank
it?
it.
They took it to the
Oh,
next level.
I see. No, I'd never drank it.
Or not even a dare, just you put a little bit of pee in your sister's drink and
Oh,
don't
sure.
tell her that at all.
A classic prank.
Yeah, I'm the youngest, so it was all to me. So I've probably eaten more substances as a child than my older siblings, but I think I don't know. The question is, do you want to stop? Because it feels like she doesn't want to stop. She wants to
Right.
keep doing it, but she doesn't want her kid burdened with this same disgusting habit that she
Right.
has.
That's a tough one. And she doesn't feel comfortable doing it in secret and becoming a hypocrite. And so
But that's all of parenting.
You
is
must-
hypocrisy.
That
It
is
really
true.
is.
So.
But I don't feel it as
Get over it.
as a hypocritical thing with a kid because I strongly believe in the thing that drove me so crazy, which is it is okay. Booger picking is a little different, but it is okay for me and it's not okay for you. And
Yeah.
eventually it will be okay for you, but for now it's not. And so that's the dynamic of power is different because I'm a grown up and I have to work and I have to do things that are annoying and all you do is like stare at a mobile and have fun.
All right. Well, I need a palate cleanse.
All right. Let's play another secret.
Hi, this is Legero and Mr. Castor.
Cute.
I've been having my hot girl summer. Not calling myself hot, but
You can.
I was in a long-term monogamous relationship for a couple decades, and recently I've safely and carefully been single and having fun. There's nobody else I can tell this to, so I'm going to tell you guys. I hooked up with 3 different people in the span of 24 hours. I can't believe I'm saying this. And it actually happened twice recently. So yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. All like, still getting to know these people, you know. And then I started to find that I really liked sex and I was really good at sex from what I had been told. And I would have never known this had I stayed monogamous the rest of my life. And so I started to get better and better at it, especially blowjobs. And so I had somebody jokingly be like, you should go into sex work. And being at the point I am in my life right now, needing extra income, about 2 months ago, I started that route too. And I can't tell anybody in my family
Hell
or
yes.
any of my friends. And they would never know because I appear like the most innocent woman you'd ever And meanwhile, I'm doing that on the side and getting told that I give the best blowjob of dozens of men's lives now. So I'm like secretly kind of proud of that, but I can't tell anybody in my life that. So I wanted to tell you guys. And yeah, bye.
Wait, can you do just blowjobs for sex work? Not
Of
that you'd want
course.
to.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
So
set
you
your own
like put an
terms.
ad out, or how do you do it? Like, how do you?
Yeah, Amy, how do you do it? How do you do
I'm
it?
trying to
From
think.
what
Like,
I've read,
like, how can you put? That just sounds. Well, first of all,
I
think
should have charged many times. I'm too stupid to answer this question.
That's funny to have a sexual encounter so bad you're like, okay, that should have come with payment. Because that was.
Oh, yeah.
If that was about pleasure, we didn't have that.
I mean, that
So
is really
many.
cool that she's. First of all, she's doing it right. She's like getting off of the long-term boyfriend by like
It's
you know,
the opposite
6 people in 2
phenomenon
days.
of what you described, actually.
I love her. I think
Yes.
she's an angel. I think people who are trying sluttiness for the first time are so precious.
She's like, I'll go pro.
This is the bad side of monogamy. I think monogamy is fine if that's what, you know, 2 people want, but it's like it's the coming out of it with such a weird like shame about sex, or like that it's not normal to fuck people. Like that's the bad side, you know? And so her discovering this is awesome. I think she's wonderful, but it's just so cute to me.
It
Like
was
just
cute.
as like someone getting into old style monogamy, like being boring or whatever, and formerly a huge whore. I love it when people like figure it out. I will say focus on the cash
Yeah.
and the fun for yourself. Because once I hear the like, oh, men tell me I'm really good at this.
Oh, that's interesting.
Not my favorite road.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
No, that's interesting to pull. I didn't notice it.
Yeah, never gonna pay off for your self-worth. Men are disgusting, and if
Oh,
if their
I'm with you.
if their penis is in your mouth, it's the current best blowjob they've ever had because they want you to keep doing it.
Okay, not true. Okay, I take issue. The last part, I was willing to go with men are disgusting.
Thank you.
But definitely it is possible to be having a blowjob and thinking I would rather not be having an encounter than this.
Then did you stop it?
Amy, I don't
He
like
did not, Amy. I was there.
Amy, I don't like these kinds of gotcha questions. Okay? I know what you're doing and it feels manipulative.
Jiminy Glick.
I did think that it was the juxtaposition. You're right. She was so sweet. The juxtaposition between what she was saying and the way she was saying it. I pictured her like having a blanket over her head with like
Yeah.
a flashlight, like it was all innocent.
Yeah.
But then in the end, it was a real roller coaster. She became a sex worker.
I love it.
Yeah. I that's so interesting because I took that all these men are telling me I'm the best as like she was in a boring sexual relationship where she thought sex was boring and that she wasn't good at it, and then I hear what you're saying though. It's a very male gazy or male glazy at the end, but I took it as like I feel so empowered by these men going, "You're great," you know. But I also hear what you're saying.
And that is possible, but it's like you have to really ground yourself before that. And it does sound like, I mean, I'm inferring, but that her long-term monogamous relationship didn't give her a lot of that validation,
Right.
that she was hot, because even she was like, I'm not to call myself hot.
I
Which
heard that
you can
too.
fucking call yourself hot.
Right.
And if your piece of shit ex-husband whose dick you never sucked because he didn't deserve it, never told you were beautiful or made you feel validated in that way, then yeah, this all makes sense. I'd just say like be careful of your own spirit, because anything you do, mostly for men, never pays off.
Well, also
Professionally, sexually,
Well, I love that this is
friendship.
This is very similar advice that you gave the last person, which is like check yourself first, check your own
Yeah.
motives first. And it seems like you're really grounded and you really know yourself. And I feel like that is something that as a people pleaser, I forget to do a lot. And
It
so
took a long time though. Yeah.
Did you say you're a therapist? Really?
No, I was
studied
gonna
it?
be.
Oh, okay. So you've studied this. So yeah.
you could have nailed that. You're
you.
nailing comedy,
It's
but you
not
could have
too
nailed
late.
that.
No, I need more money.
Yeah. I do think that doing sex work for this is my prediction, that doing sex work for this woman is a temporary thing. I do not think she's going to transition into a sex worker.
She said she loves having sex.
No, I know, but it's like there is like a fun, exciting part, and then I'm sure she will encounter something where it's like, okay, this isn't as fun as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Not to say that some sex workers that I know are like, well, that's just part of the game. She's not a lifer. She's like still in the like
metamorphosis.
Yes, the metamorphosis.
Stage.
Like this is empowering, and eventually there'll be a thing where she goes, okay, I think I've scratched that itch. I'll go back to just hoeing, and then maybe take that into whatever the next relationship is, if there is one.
Yeah.
Now a fully sexually empowered woman. How about that?
She also did say people, so it could be, it could be multiple genders. It could be anything. I just, because like hearing the stuff about her ex and like men's compliments kind of like got me a little bit. But who knows? She could have an OnlyFans. She could have plenty of information about these people, like enough to go on, that, I actually do want to suck your dick and charge you for it. But you're not like a random creep.
There was a girl in my show in Chicago this weekend that she's a Jewish, and she has a OnlyFans called Spit on the Zionist. And I was like, oh, wow, it's like a political, anti-Israel OnlyFans, that sexuality. And then I thought about it. I think she's the Zionist.
Oh.
And it's spit on me.
Good for her.
So there's a lot of interesting dimensions of sexuality going on out there.
Yeah.
She told me about a sexual proclivity called, I can't remember what it was called, like political cucking. It's where you act out political fantasies.
Oh, yeah.
Through sex and sexuality. Like if you're a big Trumper, then like somebody puts on a Kamala mask and like fucks you, and vice versa. Sexuality's crazy, man.
A MAGA hat?
Yeah.
On the tip of your penis.
Yeah. I always think
something for everybody. I mean, the last caller could start a booger eating OnlyFans and make $1 trillion. Make
a lot of money.
And then channel that somewhere, and then maybe, she won't want to do it anymore.
Human beings are so fucking weird. I always think about...
We're disgusting animals.
Well, it's like with sexuality, like every other animal just like sniffs, dances, fucks, and then moves on. We've got these fucking weird...
Animals dance?
Well, I mean, the mating
Show
ritual...
your feathers.
Even the most complex mating rituals in the animal kingdom, still eventually it's just like, oh, I like your feathers, I'll fuck you. They don't have complexes. They're not like sexually fucked up or sexually fetished. It's just so interesting to me that human beings are so smart that the most base of all needs, eating, fucking, have been twisted into these bizarre... sometimes beautiful, sometimes tragic, like sort of subcategories of how you sustain yourself. We're too dang smart.
Well, by design also. I mean, yeah, by monogamy, the patriarchy, religion. I mean, these things are all related.
It's so complicated.
But we have to overthink it when it is just also like a basic need.
Right. It should just be a chimp going like, hey, look.
Yeah.
I'm ready. And then you chimp fuck, and then you're done. Well, folks, if you're not a member of our Patreon, we're about to throw to a segment that you're not going to be able to listen to, but it's so easy for you to hear it. Sign up for the Patreon. Up that rate. At what level do they get this content? The lowest? $5 a month. Get out of here. Do you have anything you'd like to plug before we say au revoir?
Oh, just follow me on Instagram, Amy Miller Comedy. I'm always doing touring and stuff.
A great comedian, a funny person, and a good person, and an old friend. And I'm delighted that you joined us tonight. If you would like to join us on this podcast, you can send us an email, endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com, and we can give you advice.
Or if you have a secret, give us a call at 213-222-8608.
You can find us on Instagram, on YouTube, and you can become a member of our Patreon to hear the unbelievably delightful life that Amy Miller just described. It was adorable, and it was instructive, and it was aspirational. Amy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. So good to see you both.
You too.